I go to a Catholic school, and what I've picked up from what I've heard about their beliefs is that they believe that those who commit suicide go directly to hell. What can you tell me about that?
You know, this question has so many ramifications other than that. It goes into things like assisted, suicide type thing where the machines are pulled off, or living wills, and all these things actually now are coming into play. The more machines we have and the more science grows, the more complex these decisions become, and we are making more decisions of more rapid nature, at a more rapid nature, of more dramatic implications. Let me just say this to you. I wish I had an absolute answer to give to you. I just say this: I wouldn't want to meet the Lord after I have taken my life. And the reason is, in Genesis 9:6, murder is called the ultimate attack upon the image of God. That's what murder is. You have violated the image of God. So if I violate the image of God in someone else, or I violate it in myself, it is the ultimate act of lack of faith. And without faith, it is impossible to please God. So I would say I wouldn't want to meet him on those terms. I will also say this, that I cannot stand as a judge and tell the parent of an 18 or a 19-year-old where life has been wasted like that, that's the end and that person is hellbound. That's not my prerogative in life. I would have to leave God as that judge and leave God to work for the peace of a family that has had to live through it. I would never want, I tried that once, and it took me years to even talk about it. I never talked about it to my parents afterwards. My wife spoke to my mother and my father and said, it is so embarrassing to Ravi to even discuss it. It's easier for me to discuss it from a platform than it is to talk one-on-one across a table. The fact that I tried to take my life is a devastating thought to me. The only consolation I have is that I didn't know Christ at that time. Now that I know him, I will never ever violate the image of God that he's given to me. And I just pray that in pain or in struggle or whatever, in Romans 14, it tells you about eating food, about one day being more sacred to one than another. It gives you all of these things. And it tells you this: whatsoever is not of faith is sin. What it really means is, if you violate a conviction that God has placed in your heart clearly, it's a sinful thing to do. So I would say what Francis Schaeffer says about the sovereignty of God and the responsibility of man. If you're ignoring the sovereignty, he says, that's what I will preach to you at that time. If you're ignoring responsibility, that's what I would preach to you at this time. If anybody is toying with the idea of taking their life, that's what I would say to them. Don't even think about it. It's the most sacred gift that God has given to you. Don't use your freedom to violate your freedom. The eternal destinies are in the hands of God, but the moment is for us to choose and select. Let us not violate what God has given to us as a sacred gift. It is a privilege that is entrusted. Trust him through the wildest twists and turns. When you finally meet with him, you'll find he sustained you the greatest in your darkest night of the soul. George VI was dying of cancer, and he spoke to the world, and he said this: I said to the man at the gate of the ear, I said to the man at the gate of the ear, give me a light that I may walk safely into the unknown. And he said to me, go out into the darkness and put your hand into the hand of God. It shall be to you better than the light and safer than the known. Life is too precious. Don't squander it. Go out into the darkness, put your hand into the hand of God. It shall be to you better than the light and safer than the known. The greatest triumphs are those who have survived the greatest darkness. In love's service, the wounded soldiers will serve best. So don't think of hurting your life. He will carry you through. That's what I would tell the young person. Eternity is in his hands, and I wouldn't want to risk it on that kind of ambiguity. Okay? God bless you.